Hello and welcome to Neil's Spanish Flybox. I hope you're all safe and well, and a special welcome to our viewers in New Zealand. As we approach springtime, which we are not far away from now, we're thinking about tying dry flies for the early part of the season. And in February there are going to be some hatches of the large dark olive. Now there are many patterns for the large dark olive. Here are a couple. The one on the right is tied jingler style, and the one on the left with olive hare's ear. But in Spain, the style that you're more likely to see on the Spanish rivers tied by Spanish fly fishers is this. It's a simple tying, and that's what we're going to tie today. The tying thread, I'm using a light camel. For the body, I'm going to use some Gutermann olive thread, and this is number 431. For the tail, I'm going to use some medium Pardo Coq de Lion, and for the rib, I'll be using a yellow thread. I will be putting a sighter on it, and that will be orange floss, and the wings, they'll be CDC, and these are brown. Right, let's start the tying. I'm going to start it a couple of mil behind the eye and wind down. Trim that off. Just going to put that a little bit straighter. There we go. As you can see, I caught the thread on the point of the hook and it started to dismantle it. Right, fibres for the tail. The large dark olive, by the very name, suggests that it's a larger fly, and I'm tying it with a size 14. Now a size 12 would not be unheard of. I'm just going to pull that back a little bit to reasonable length, and I'm going to put one wrap underneath the tail to lift it slightly and separate the fibres. Right, now I'm going to tie in both the body and the rib at the same time. Wind those up and trim off. Right, now let's get the rib out of the way. Start the thread. Now the shape of the body is generally accepted to be sort of cigar shape, which suggests that it would be thicker at one end, and that would probably be the thorax end. So slowly build up the body, the sort of shape we're looking for. This thickness of thread is actually 2 strands of the 3 strands that you will have when using this Gutermann thread. And this rib effect comes from the thread being waxed. Trim that off. Right. And I'm going to wind this in the opposite direction. As I've said, this is one of the earliest flies, and whilst the majority of hatches will be in March, it is quite usual to have the odd hatch in February if we have a warm day, so don't be surprised to see them. And this starts in Europe around that time, and it's one of the first flies from Norway down to us in Spain. In the southern hemisphere, I can't honestly say, but I believe it's one of the early ones too in the United States of America. Right, now the wings are, in this instance, 3 CDC feathers, which I have put together all facing the same way. I'm going to get rid of all this rubbish at the bottom because it's very fluffy, and all it does is hold water, and pull the longer fibres down. And cut off the points. Just turn those back round. And tie in the CDC. And just pull that through until you find the fibre. And that's about it. Underneath. And trim off the butts. And tidy up. Right, I'm going to separate fibres to create 2 wings. We'll get this as close to half as we possibly can. We can always adjust it afterwards. For the thorax, I'm going to use some hare's ear, or a hare's ear and rabbit and squirrel mix. Dub that one. Put one behind, sorry, that was the camera, behind the wing to keep it upright. Couple in the front, like that. Right, now for the sighter, orange floss, doubled over and double over again. Tie that in. Fold that back. Tie that here as well. Right, and tie off the fly. Snip that off. I'm going to put a little bit of super glue on the tying there on the head, just to keep it secure and in place. Yeah. Right, the sighter, well, whatever length you really want it to be, it's entirely up to you, whatever you feel comfortable with. So, and the wings. Right, now I'm just going to pick out that hair's here underneath. In fact, I'll give it a little bit of brush with the Velcro. And see about trimming up some of this at the back. A little bit of hairdressing is always a good thing. You've got a better chance of it ending up how you want it to end up. There. And there you have it, the finished fly. As I said, it's one of the first flies to come out in springtime, and let's hope they do come out in February to give us a chance to put a dry fly on the river, and let's hope that we can catch a few fish. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider being so, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.